Welcome in to the Ravens Rundown, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. It is day number 2 of NFL free agency. Coming up on today's show, we'll talk about OBJ. Also got a Lamar update for you and what the cap situation looks like for the Ravens. Let's start with Odell Beckham Jr. According to SI Ravens Country, they are saying that OBJ is likely to be a key factor in the Lamar Jackson extension situation. Very fascinating, right? Now, go back a couple days when OBJ had his private workout. The Ravens were there. They were one of the teams in attendance. And we saw the wide receiver market finally open up today in free agency. And before we dive into the nitty-gritty and show you just some of the statistics, the numbers and everything, I'll put it this way. If the Ravens are going to sign OBJ or another receiver, things went good in their direction based on the movement that occurred. Let's go back to this report from Adam Schultz of the SI All Ravens website. The Ravens attended Beckham Jr.'s workout and seemingly have a fleeting interest in the receiver. Still, if that were to morph into substantial interest, then Baltimore would have something to work with offensively. And that might be the thing that gets Jackson to sign on the dotted line. That might be the thing, huh? Interesting. The numbers on OBJ, obviously he did not play last year as he tore his ACL in the Super Bowl win in his final game with the Los Angeles Rams and missed all last season. Tried to sign with the team towards the end of the year, but the Cowboys, of course, leaked out that his medicals were not looking good on that front. But you can see that even these last few years, he's still been fairly productive. He's not the receiver that he was several years ago, but he's still very good at that. And the Rams would not have won that Super Bowl without OBJ in that 2021 season. Now, here's where we factor in the market situation and everything. The Raiders today signed Jacoby Myers to about an $11 million deal. And that was kind of undervalued, quite frankly, for Jacoby Myers compared to what he was expected to get. And that was the first wide receiver to sign. That kind of reset the wide receiver free agent market. And in the Ravens case, who don't have a whole lot of cash to spend when it comes to salary cap, it set things for the better. Now, according to Spotrac, OBJ's estimated value right now is about $13.5 million. And that number was before the Jacoby Myers deal. So his value, as you would think everybody's, is probably going to go down. Now, there are reports out there that OBJ wants around $20 million. I can tell you this right now, whether it's the Ravens, the Cowboys, whoever it may be, nobody's going to pay Odell Beckham $20 million. That is not happening. You can rule that out right now. He's not going to be in the $20 million range. Now, the Ravens' cap situation at the moment, and obviously this is changing, there could be still some moves to come and some different things to work out, stands at about $10.3 million. So, with that said, the Ravens are in the ballpark on OBJ. If they want OBJ, they could still make some moves and finagle the salary cap, and obviously they have the Lamar situation to figure out and all that. But basically, if they want him, they can have him, but it will take some work to still get there, if that makes sense. Our pinned comment today, will the Ravens sign Odell Beckham? If you think they will, type OBJ for yes. If you don't think they will, type no BJ for no. That's OBJ for yes. That's no BJ for no. Simple as that. Let me know in the comment section one way or the other. Folks, we are closing in on 9,000 subscribers. And what did we tell you a couple days ago? If we don't get to 9,000 subscribers by Friday, the bosses are considering making this a subscribers-only channel. So don't risk it. Don't take any chances on that. Subscribe now for free. It doesn't cost you a thing. Let's go ahead and get to 9,000 subscribers together. It's the only way we could guarantee that this is available to the entire Ravens flock so we can have more people be a part of what we're doing each and every day. We're talking news and rumors, trades, free agency. We go live from time to time here on the channel. Subscribe now, turn on notifications, youtube.com/RavensTV. A little trouble in paradise? Well, today, Lamar Jackson took to Twitter. And it's always interesting when guys take to social media. I'll be honest, that's not my favorite thing. But nonetheless, it happened. Lamar denied a report that he turned down $200 million in guaranteed money. Let's walk through this situation. So Baltimore beat down the SB Nation site covering the Ravens. We've talked about them from time to time here on the channel. They posted a tweet quoting ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter saying that Lamar Jackson turned down $200 million guaranteed back in September. Then Lamar responded, and he called cap, as the kids say. And it was a gif of all these caps on this guy, and just hilarious, right? Quite the response from Lamar. And then he followed that up with a couple more tweets. Here's the first one. Lamar said that he just recently turned down $133 million for 3 years, which quick math is what, like $44 million? But I need an agent, 3 years fully guaranteed. So he's saying that he got offered 3 full years at that, but that he wasn't interested. He said no to that. Wasn't the $200 million, but did turn down $133 guaranteed. And then he had this to say. Get the emojis involved. People throw blank at the wall, poop at the wall, and hope it stick. So Lamar taking to Twitter about this. Interesting. Very, very interesting. What do you guys think about this? Of Lamar taking to Twitter, going public with these negotiations, representing himself and putting this out there and fighting with the media about what he was really offered in this whole situation. What's your thoughts on the situation? Give me one word to describe it all. My one word is frustrating. I wish that they could keep the negotiations out of the public eye and that they could just get this deal done. This has been going on for quite some time now. We're still waiting. It's frustrating. That's my one word. Give me one word to describe it all. Now, Josina Anderson of CBS Sports put out a report this week that Lamar would play on the franchise tag. Remember, he's on the non-exclusive franchise tag, which is valued at about $32 million for this year. And so with that, remember what we told you yesterday was that teams apparently were not wanting to play with the whole non-exclusive franchise tag. We've heard about the collusion stuff. We talked about that last week. But then the other end of it that came out in yesterday's reports was that teams do not want to negotiate for the Ravens. They want to make the Ravens do their own job, right? And so with that, if teams aren't going to play ball and try to match and make an offer for Lamar, it sounds like one way or the other he's coming back to Baltimore. And that's a huge change from when this whole ordeal started, when they placed the exclusive tag. There was doubt when they placed the exclusive tag, like, oh my gosh, is this the beginning of the end? But now it sounds like, this thing still might drag on. He might have to play on the franchise tag, or they might get to a point where, hey, nobody else is negotiating here. We'll go ahead and get a deal done. All sides come together here. One way or the other, I don't know what the final outcome is, but the way momentum looks at the moment anyway is that Lamar is coming back to Baltimore this next season. And then we'd still try to figure out everything else. But this drama or long national nightmare is not over. Will Lamar play for the Ravens next season? I think yes right now. What say you? Y for yes, N for no. Will Lamar Jackson be back next year or not? Let me know. One final note before we wrap up the show here. Big Kev is restructuring his contract. Details still exactly to be announced, but that's going to open up some cap space for a potential OBJ signing or some other moves. We told you yesterday about Gus Edwards taking about $1 million pay cut as well, so be on the lookout for that. Remember, historically speaking, I know the Ravens haven't signed anybody yet, but historically speaking, the Ravens usually aren't the first to make an aggressive move in free agency. And so we'll see. They've been clearing some things up. Is something on the way? We'll find out. And when something does happen, we're going to be on top of it here on the channel. Subscribe now for free for the latest happenings on your favorite team. We got you covered like no one else does. We're talking trades, free agency. We're counting down to the draft. If you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Subscribe now today. You'll be glad you did, and we'll see you next time right here on the Ravens Rundown. Thanks for joining us.